Hey, what's up everybody? This is Chicken Possible with Rewards Hunter, back with another Xbox Game Pass weekly quest guide. So today we're going to be working on the quest for the game Black Desert, and this is a weekly quest, so it is worth 50 points. It expires on the 5th of September, and we need to earn 1,000 gifted Sellswords within the game. And this game is available on the cloud, so you can play it that way if you like. This will probably take, I'm estimating, about 30 minutes to complete this time, especially if you're a new player to the game. They have changed things around on us a little bit, and there's a little bit more to do in the intro to the game. So you can feel free to use an existing character if you like. I'm going to be starting with a brand new character like I always do. And if you're not familiar with the term gifted sellswords, that's basically the experience within this game. So when you start it up, you want to select the server that is called Olvia, that has the EXP boost on it, the little green section with the arrow pointing up, so we can earn experience a little bit faster. So let's press A to select that Olvia server at the upper right, and then we'll get started in that one. So we have done this quest, I believe, 4 times previously, so this will be the 5th time through it, but they have changed things quite a bit, like I said, in the intro to the game. So I'm going to be showing that new intro. I'll be skipping some of the cutscenes in it, but we're going to go ahead and get started with a brand new character, and I'm going to create a new normal character instead of a seasonal character. So like I said, you could use an existing one if you want to, but this is going to be sort of a guide for new players, people who haven't played this game or done this quest before, and I'll show you how to get through this first section. We're going to pick Warrior as our class at the upper right. Feel free to choose another class if you like, that's just my favorite one to use. And so we're going to press A, and then we're going to press X to go to the character creation. Now you have to choose a name here, so you're going to press X, and then just try and do something maybe kind of close to whatever your gamer tag is. And then you do have to get a unique name here. So if you enter in a name that somebody else has put in before, it won't let you through. But you can click the left stick to check and see if the name is available. And then once you find one that's acceptable, you can just press A few times to go ahead and confirm the character and get it created. And then you'll have to actually select the character that you created once again on this screen. So I'm choosing my number 4 character there, and then we'll just press A to connect to this server and get it started up. So like I said, there's a brand new tutorial and sort of intro to this. It has a lot of unskippable cutscenes in it. I'm going to be skipping through some of them here in the video just to make the video a little bit shorter, and I'll just show you the actual like battling and crucial things that you have to do in the intro. But a lot of these cutscenes at the beginning of this are unskippable, which makes this a little bit longer to get through. So like I said, it'll probably take you about half an hour total, but I'm going to shorten it to about 15 minutes here by cutting out some of the cutscenes and everything. So feel free to pause the video whenever you need to, you know, if I'm skipping over a cutscene and you want to just kind of play along with me. So we've got this new character out in the desert that we need to follow, and that's actually going to be the very first thing that we need to do. They're just going to get us used to the movement within the game. And this part was glitchy. I had to do this a couple of times. The other character kept just kind of like floating along the sand and disappearing at different times. So I did actually end up having to restart this a couple of times. But ideally, this is what should happen. You should be able to just kind of follow along behind her and get down to this sort of stone section down here. And then there'll be another little cutscene like this right here. So you've got to do a couple of battles next to this stone structure so that a colossus will come up out of the sand and help us to get to the next section of the game.
Soon a giant shall be awakened here, and then we shall reach.
I also had a lot of fun watching the subtitles in this because the subtitles aren't exactly correct. They don't actually match what she's saying a lot of the times. So that's kind of funny to watch if you're interested in doing that. Since you can't skip these cutscenes, you might as well get some sort of entertainment out of them. So here's our first enemy that we have to fight. So we're going to basically just kind of move around with the left stick and use the right bumper to slash at her. And you'll want to make sure that your reticle, the little indicator in the center of the screen, is pointed at the enemy, because if you slash with the right bumper and it's not actually pointing at the enemy, then a lot of times you'll miss your slash that you're working on. So just make sure that it turns red and kind of highlights on the enemy, and then you'll be able to hit the right bumper and actually have an effective attack against them. So the first enemy dies there, and then we're going to get a few more that we need to defeat before the Colossus can come up. So we've got 4 enemies here, and this will get us ready for some of the battling that we're going to do a little bit later on, where we're fighting multiple enemies at the same time, so that's a good thing. And I didn't die at all during this. They seem to make it pretty easy. You know, they know it's a tutorial here, so they just want you to get some practice with the combat. So again, just keep that reticle pointed at the enemies and keep hitting your right bumper. You can throw in a right trigger shot every once in a while if you want to, but mostly I focus on the right bumper in this game. That seems to be an effective attack with this particular game. So we've got 2 of them taken out so far. There's the 3rd one and the 4th one. Okay, so then the next cutscene starts up. I'm going to skip over that one because that one takes a couple minutes, but the Colossus will rise up out of the sand, and then you will have to follow along behind the Colossus. So he's very easy to see, and you're basically just going to move forward with the left stick, and then you can hold down the left trigger to sprint in this game. So you'll probably want to do that here. You'll notice that you do have a little blue stamina bar close to the middle of the screen there that does exhaust when you're running. So if you run out of stamina during this part, basically just kind of let off the left trigger and let your stamina build back up, and then you can start sprinting again. But 2 good sprinting sessions here should get you up to the Colossus. And he'll just kind of pause in the sand there waiting for us, and this is where we'll get our next cutscene and move out of this desert section. All right, so we caught up with him. Again, I'm going to kind of gloss over this cutscene here, but basically he just kind of sets down a stone sphere in the ground and allows us to use that to get out of this area. So you'll just kind of slowly walk towards the sphere, and unfortunately you can't sprint, and it's a very slow kind of walk over to it, but just keep holding forward on the left stick and you'll make it over to it and be able to move on to the next area. So at this point, we get teleported off to another area, and we've got a cutscene that I'm going to skip over right here. And she'll tell you that you need to fight all of these ancient weapons that are down below the ground to be able to proceed. So we're just going to go out there and fight through some of those guys. And again, they're not very difficult. This is still in the tutorial. So you're not, even though they look big and there are a lot of them, you're probably not actually going to die during any of this. So you should be fairly safe here. So just use the same skills that we've used so far. Try to use that red reticle. Make sure it's pointing at the enemy that you're attacking. It can be a little difficult here to actually see what the enemies are because there's just so much stuff and so many bone-looking things kind of flying around. But try to look at that reticle in the center of the screen, and if it is red, then you know you're fighting a live enemy in that direction. So that's when you want to hit your right bumper and actually attack it. And each one of these enemies will also have a little meter above their head that shows their health and the name of the enemy. So if you see that, that's another good indicator that you're fighting somebody you're supposed to be fighting. So that's the last one of the first set of enemies. And the second set of enemies is actually over to the right over here. I started to head back towards her thinking I needed to report back, but they're actually over to the left of this area. There's one last one from the first group. He was kind of hiding on me. But here we go. Here are all the green ones that we need to take out next. So you will need to clear out all of these guys from around the little pedestal area there before you can proceed. And you'll know when this is over. You'll know when you get the last one because there will be a cutscene that starts up as soon as you finish fighting the very last one of these green enemies. So I think this is the very last one here, so as soon as we take him out, then we should get our cutscene started up for the next section. And most of these have just taken, 1 or 2 hits, so they're pretty quick to go down and pretty quick to finish off. So here's our cutscene, And this one's a little bit lengthier. I'm not going to give away any spoilers right here, but something pretty interesting happens. And then basically we move back to what we're used to seeing in this quest, which is this area where they're doing the dig site and all that sort of thing. So this is what we used to see in the beginning of this quest, but now they've just added that tutorial section that we just went through. So this will start to look familiar to a lot of you who have done the quest before. So we've got the Black Spirit that is talking to us, so we can just press A a few times to page through his dialogue and to confirm. And then we can press B to get out of this. And then we're going to walk over to this highlighted section. This is where the Eden character stands, and we can hold down Y to talk to him. And you can chat. Just press A to go through all of his dialogue.
You've forgotten we found you with...
Worker, come hither. Haven't you heard time?
Now, I would love to hear your story, but I was hired to excavate the ruins down...
And once we've done that, we can hit the right bumper to go over to exit and stop talking to Eden. And then we can actually exit from this conversation as well and press B to exit. And now we're going to look for a particular quest. So let's press the start button, and we're going to hit the right bumper to go over to the quests. And then press A to select that. We're going to hit the right bumper again to go over to the main quests, press A, and then you're going to look for one in this list that says the Officer Fenia. And once you've found that one, then you're going to press A. And then if you look on the left column, it says Move To, choose Navigate, and press A on that, and then B. And we're going to use that quest to navigate to an area that has a bunch of enemies that we can use to get our XP that we need. So we're going to follow along with this little blue line here, and if you had any difficulties, basically just follow the same path that I'm following and you'll be able to get here. But once you've got it selected, you've got the blue line, you can click your left stick to actually auto run and have your character just run there automatically to where we're going. But we're just following along with the blue dotted line, and you can hold down the left trigger if you want to sprint as well. And we're going to get into a fight with some imps that are up here on the hill near the officer. And this is going to be the quickest way to level up and to get all of the XP that we need. And this is probably going to take, I'm going to say, about 5 more minutes to finish up your battle here. It depends on how quickly you go through it. But you're going to have to level up a few times and get to level 7. But basically, all you need to do at this point is just kill imps. So we're going to use the same battle techniques we've been using with the targeting and using the right bumper to take out some of the imps. And I'm going to just kind of cut to specific moments in my battle here so I don't show all 5 minutes of me just kind of hacking and slashing through the imps. One of the things that you might run into at the beginning stages of the battle is your health might start to get low. You've got 1 health potion that you've got in your possession when you first start out. You can hit left on the D-pad to use the health potion, and that'll bring your health bar at the upper left back up. Your health bar is the red bar that's up there. You'll also see your level up there, and as you start to level up, that will change at the upper left corner. So you can see I just leveled up to level 2 there, where there was kind of a flash of light. And basically you want to just keep leveling up until you get to level 7. So just keep slashing through all of the imps. Like I said, it'll probably take about 5 minutes or so. And once you get to level 7, then the quest should pretty much complete for you at that point. So it might take a few seconds for it to pop up, but once it does, then we'll go ahead and hold down the Xbox button to turn it in and grab the 75 rewards points. So there we go, we've got that. And that is pretty much going to do it for the Black Desert quest for this week. I hope you all had success with that and were able to get through it relatively quickly. Like I said, it's a little bit longer than it used to be because they added in that new section with the tutorial, but it does kind of prepare you for battle a little bit better, so that's a good thing and gets us a little bit more experience with the game. Anyway, we've got a guide out for Disc Room already for this week, and as far as the weekly rewards set, I'm going to be doing that guide on Thursday because it's going to be the 1st of September, and we're going to have the new monthly bonus round that'll come out that same day, so I'm going to work on kind of comboing things together and put that together in one guide on Thursday the 1st. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you found that video helpful, please be sure to click the subscribe button here on YouTube and hit that bell for notifications. You can also find some helpful links in the description of this video if you want to stay connected with us. Stay tuned for more Microsoft rewards and achievement guides, and I'll see you in the next one.